We tested over 30 AiOs from different brands, price points, and categories to give you our picks for the best AiOs going into 2026. We'll cover everything from the best looking AiOs to the best performing, as well as showing some bangers that won't bleed your wallet dry. And at the end of the video, some of these CPU coolers will ascend to the Robeytech pantheon of AiOs. So if you're braving a PC build this year, we want to share with you our top picks for the best AiOs of 2026 right here, right now on Robeytech, after a word from our sponsors. This video is brought to you by our official Robeytech build mat. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll probably recognize it. We love these things. They're super thick and durable, and they're absolutely huge in size, measuring at 5.5 millimeters thick and 24 by 48 inches wide. This one that we have right here, man, this has been in the studio for like 4 years, and it's still holding up great, no problem. We've also included all sorts of useful graphics showing different PC form factor sizes, including schematic diagrams and connectors you'll encounter probably during your PC build. Not to mention, there's plenty of open space for screw and tool organization. We designed it like this so no matter what skill level of builder you are, it could be a helpful tool for pretty much everyone. Now, you can find these build mats for sale on our Newegg store, and it's a great way to support us directly if you enjoy the content we make. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get back to the video. All right, folks, you know why you're here, and I know why you're here, so let's lay some groundwork for what's gonna happen in this video. We tested 33 AiOs throughout 2025, and this data, along with our experiences building with them, will guide our choices for the best AiOs going into 2026 in the following categories. Best AiO with a show-stopping screen, best budget-conscious AiO, best AiO for back connect motherboards, and by popular demand, we're adding the best Quiet AiO, and finally, the 2026 King of Cool, the best AiO in thermal performance. Since we can only embed a few videos, we'll be linking reviews or live stream builds for those AiOs in the comments below. And if you want to follow along at home, we have a companion page over at robeytech.com where you can find the full links to the AiOs and so much more. With all that in mind, let's start with a bit of razzle-dazzle and talk about the best Showstopper AiO. When it comes to building a showcase PC, you want an AiO that not only has the cooling chops, it has the looks. We're talking about eye-catching displays, smart edges and curves, the types of features that land these coolers onto Instagram feeds and listicles. Last year's winner, the Trix Panorama, wowed fans with its bold panoramic curves, and then everyone started chasing that trend. This year's winner, however, is more of a classic beauty, and that AiO is the NZXT Kraken Elite V2. Featuring a dazzling RGB ringed 2.72-inch display, the Kraken Elite V2 harkens back to its round display roots. But this isn't just a comeback like a mullet or baggy jeans. The Kraken Elite V2 brings the classic look into the modern era with NZXT's unified core RGB fans as well as a breakout cable that can be relocated to the radiator. Not only that, the Kraken Elite V2 showed its cooling chops under load on Intel and also while gaming on AMD. Put it all together and this AiO, it looks good, it's versatile, and it does its own stunts. So in a roundabout way, the Kraken Elite V2 is like the Tom Cruise of AiOs, just with less couch jumping and more of whatever the CPU cooling equivalent is to jumping out of helicopters. Now the 360mm NZXT Kraken Elite V2 retails for a cool $320. It's also available in either black or white and in sizes ranging from 240mm all the way up to 420mm. If, however, you're looking for a more budget-conscious showstopper, you could check out the Thermalright Wonder Vision UB or MSI's MPG Core Liquid P13. Now, if the Kraken Elite's price tag made you faint, this next category should be the smelling salts to bring you back. That's right, it's time to talk about the best budget-conscious AiO. As we get into this category, you guys had some strong feelings about our pick last year, and we took that to heart. So we found a wealth of budget-friendly AiOs to add to this year's roundup with prices ranging from $50 to $100. And believe it or not, there are some absolute bangers in this category, but we had to narrow it down to the top value leader in our value proposition chart. And the AiO to lead the pack is the Thermalright Aqua Elite V6. When we look at the dollar per degree of cooling value, Thermalright has a stranglehold on this metric. But with a price tag of just over $50 and temps landing in the top 5 coolest on both Intel and AMD while gaming and under load, it's hard to argue its worth. Not only that, the Aqua Elite V6 comes with ARGB equipped fans and a pump head design that looks a little bit like a pair of rims, if you want your PC to have some Fast and Furious vibes. And hey, if you like the vibes around here, hit those like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons here at Robeytech and over at Robeytech Live. Next up, we have our best AiO for back connect builds. With Asus, MSI, and Gigabyte all prioritizing limited cable visibility with BTF, Project Zero, and Project Stealth, the AiOs in this category need to carry the spirit of minimal cabling forward. We've actually seen more AiOs shipping with unified fan systems and discrete pump connections, so the AiO leading this category has to do more than that if it wants to steal the crown. Now, the winner this year, however, isn't stealing the crown as much as it's inheriting it from its predecessor, and that AiO is the Lee & HydroShift 2. The HydroShift 2 series continues the legacy of shifting the AiO hoses to the side of the radiator, dropping them directly down to the pump head. This creates a minimalistic aesthetic and really pairs well with back connect builds. Much like the previous models, the HydroShift 2 is available in black or white with a few different choices for fans. But Lee & has also made the HydroShift 2 available with either a round or square LCD. Pricing for the HydroShift 2 starts at around $160 for the bring your own fan version, $180 for their CL fan version, and around $240 for the wireless TL Unifan system. If the HydroShift 2 isn't quite your speed and you aren't looking at buying an AiO today, be on the lookout. We saw a contender at CES from Asus that could cause a huge upset in this category next year. Speaking of upsets, we wouldn't want to upset you by not adding a category that we promised last year, and that category is the best Quiet AiO. When we looked at the combined average noise levels with fans at 100% under full CPU load and fans running when gaming, the quietest AiO in our lineup with an average of 53 decibels is the MSI MAG Core Liquid A15. Now, with this category, I want you to understand a few things. The first thing is that even though the A15 had the all-around lowest average, the MSI MAG Core Liquid A13 was far stealthier under full CPU load, while the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 ARGB was a gaming ninja. The second thing is that for the most part, what you're actually hearing and seeing reflected in the numbers is not the AiO pump itself, it's the fans. If you're actually hearing an AiO pump running on a regular basis, you may actually have a bad pump. Overall, most of our tested AiOs operated at audible levels well within a normal ambient range. There were a few exceptions, but none of the AiOs were obnoxiously loud. And finally, the best performance AiO, which is the one that had to meet the strictest criteria. The top 10 AiOs in our CPU load and gaming tests were pulled from both AMD and Intel tests. Only those AiOs that succeeded in both categories would move into our contest for the throne. And the AiO seated on the top of the pile when both lists were merged was the Lee & Galahad 2 Lite. Not only did it take wins in multiple tests, in this grouping of AiOs, it never left the top 5. And on top of that, the Galahad 2 Lite cost around $100. Guys, I know there have been a lot of people upset whenever we bring this up, but the data speaks for itself. Even when we pull power draw into the question, the Galahad 2 Lite is allowing our test CPU to maximize its potential. There are multiple reasons why the Galahad 2 Lite keeps coming back into the conversation. The value per dollar is solid, the performance is great, and the ease of installation removes the barrier of entry for beginner users. And for that, the Robeytech Best Performance AiO crown goes to the Lee & Galahad 2 Lite. As we mentioned at the top of this video, category leaders from this round will roll over into the dataset for next year. We're updating our test benches and looking at our methodology, but we wanted to carry over some familiar faces into our upcoming chart so that you have something to compare newer coolers against. So this year you'll see the Aqua Elite V6, the Kraken Elite V2, the HydroShift 2, and the Galahad 2 Lite make a return alongside a few others that didn't quite make it into the conversation in this video. We think that there are a few stories left to tell with some of those. And with that, we're gonna wrap this one up. But before we close out, I do wanna say this. If you're a gamer, all of the AiOs we tested for this video will get the job done well. You may have an AiO that we didn't mention, but that doesn't mean you should go out and buy one that we did unless your current AiO is dying. We've seen a ton of incredible AiOs in this past year, and we're looking forward to seeing yet to be released AiOs make it into next year's roundup. You can learn more about each one we mentioned and find some runner-ups for each category over at Robeytech.com. And hey, maybe your favorite AiO didn't make the list this time around, so we want to hear from you. What was your favorite AiO from 2025? If you've used one of the AiOs we talked about, what was your impression and experiences? Also, if we add a category next time around, what would you like to see? Let us know all that in the comments. Now, while you're down there, if you like this video or you learned something from it, we'd love it if you'd hit those like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons. We have a lot more content like this coming here at Robeytech, Robeytech Live, and all over your favorite social media platforms. And hey, if you have questions or want to talk about this video, hop onto our Discord server over at discord.gg/Robeytech. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.